This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 408 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. This tip is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. Visit them at kppusa.com. Well, howdy, everybody. Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. Well, today we have something a little bit different for you again. I took this excerpt I want to play for you off of the Horses in the Morning show that I do every morning here on the Horse Radio Network, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We had a fascinating conversation on Friday, and I wanted to share it with you because I learned so much. I learned a lot of things I didn't know, and that was on gaited horses, specifically gaited Morgans, but we talked about gaited horses in general. And I just learned so much in this short interview that we did that I thought I had to share it with you here on Horse Tip Daily because it kind of fits. And I did want to mention that we only have on our shows the gaited horses and the people who do natural training and who do not use any of the extraordinary measures to train their horses that has become such a thing in the gaited community. We don't talk to them. We don't put them on our shows, but we do try and highlight the ones who are doing it correctly and who are representing the natural method. So that's another reason that I wanted to have them on the Horses in the Morning show. And as I said, it was such a fascinating conversation. I thought you would find it interesting about all the different breeds and the types of gaits and how it all works. And I wanted to share it here with you on Horse Tip Daily. And it just so happened that this segment, this Horse Tip Daily is sponsored by Kentucky Performance Products, and that segment of the Horses in the Morning show was sponsored by Kentucky Performance Products. So I'm going to start with the actual commercial for Kentucky Performance Products, and then you'll hear the interview after that. And we hope you enjoy this. I'll be on there with Jennifer H., my wife and producer of the morning show, and also you'll hear Jamie Jennings, my co-host, on there as well. Hope you enjoy this. If you heard it before, if you listen to the morning show, then just skip over this tip and on to the next one. There always is a next one. So we appreciate you listening, and I'll talk to you after this interview. Choose Kentucky Performance Products supplements because the horse that matters to you matters to Kentucky Performance Products. This week, we want to speak with you about Endure Extra. Are you struggling to put weight on your horse? Is your horse maxed out on grain but still needs more energy? Are you dealing with muscle and metabolic challenges? If so, try Endure Extra. Endure Extra contains 50% fat, which provides low-starch energy while reducing the risk of grain overload. Endure Extra is a super concentrated blend of fats, so you can feed as little as 8 ounces per day. Each 8-ounce serving contains 1,000 IU, which we learned what that was last week, and I still don't have any clue, of natural vitamin units. Oh, yeah, okay. 1,000 international units, which nobody has any idea what size that is, of natural vitamin E, which supports normal muscle function and maintains immunity. Gain the inside advantage with Endure Extra by visiting kppusa.com. Hey, I did that whole thing with all the big words without messing up a thing on a Friday. How about that?
I'm going to give you a cookie. You get a gold star.
I appreciate that because I really don't have a problem putting weight on. I do that very well. And I'm not maxed out on grain. I think I could eat more.
And
so.
You know, I'm laughing inside because that is the complete opposite problem that I have with all of our horses. We don't have a problem putting weight on. We're lucky like that. But I did have thoroughbreds before that were tough, but not anymore. These suckers, I'm like, just breathe. You'll get fat.
Yeah.
So our next guest is on the air. And we're going to do a little bit of a breed spotlight because this is pretty cool. I didn't know about it. And Valley is going to give us a little bit more information about Morgans, but not just any Morgans, gaited Morgans. So, Valley, hello. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I have to go feed the chickens, though. I'll be right back.
Feed mine while you're out there.
Already, yeah.
My guinea bird pecks on my back door if I don't get outside in time.
Is that right?
He's very demanding. I'm serious. He's a clown.
My chickens just sleep on my patio, so I totally know how you feel. You walk outside and there's chicken poo everywhere.
Yeah, I was just going to say, ours just pooped on everything. That's what.
Yes. So you are telling us, tell us a little bit about yourself because I'm reading something about you and I'm going to quiz you. So you are a judge for gaited breeds. Tell us about that.
I am. Yes, I am an IJA judge, which is an Independent Judging Association, under the guidelines of FOSH, Friends of Found Horses, which are the national organization that are working to stop soaring, mainly of Tennessee walking. So
you get a round of applause for that.
Thank you very much. I went to the FOSH judging clinic several years ago just to learn more about gait, because what I was seeing is that, gaited Morgans do what all the other gaited breeds do, and I think they all do the gaits all across the spectrum, depending on the conformation of the horse, depending on the tack on the frame, and all the other things that affect gaited horses. And so I went to the FOSH clinic to learn more about gait, and what I learned was about soaring, which I didn't know about before, and then I got all involved in that. So
now, for those who don't know what soaring is, just give a brief overview, because I think it's really important what you're doing, being on the opposing end of that. But tell in a just brief, don't try to get everybody fired up and call in, but just give us a brief overview on what soaring is and why it's important to get rid of it.
Well, soaring is a tactic that's used by trainers or exhibitors on horses to attain a more animated gait out of their horse. And many are referred to as big lick walking horses. Not all big lick walking horses are soared, excuse me, but there has been evidence in scarring and chemical detection that the horses are being soared to gain a larger extension of their gait in the front end.
So chemicals put on their coronary bands.
To burn their skin, their hair, and actually injure them, if you can imagine that, and get them to keep their feet up off the ground, so they're more animated.
So when they step down, it hurts, and they pick their foot up even higher.
Correct.
And it's amazing that people do that. I can't even imagine.
And it's been illegal since 1974 under the Horse Protection Act. But there's no good way, there hasn't been a really good way to police all that. Although, there's been a lot of things that have happened in recent years, and people are kind of coming around, to understand that it's the wrong thing to do, and it's not fair competition. So.
Well, it only took about 35 years, so from when it was illegal to now. So that's good.
But anyway, that's how I learned about it, was just wanting to get gait educated, and then I got involved with the FOSH organization and learned about that. And
well, that's great. Now, when I was reading your bio, it says that you are a judge for 14 different gaited breeds. 14
gaited breeds are in the FOSH judging manual.
Okay, here's your pop quiz. Because I didn't know there were 14 gaited horses. Can you name all 14?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I think I can try.
Okay.
Morgan, I got that one.
Well, actually, yes. There are gaited Morgans. There are Tennessee walking horses. There are Kentucky mountain saddle horses. There are the United Mountain Horse, the Florida Cracker Horse, the Missouri Foxtrotter, the Tennessee Walking Horse. Did I say that? The Rocky Mountain Horse, the Spanish Genet Horse, and the Gaited Spanish Mustang, the Tiger Horse.
Tiger Horse?
Really?
Tiger Horse. Yes, the Tiger Horse. And, don't quote me, but I'm thinking that it's a sort of a relation to, like, the Appaloosa. I mean, I've seen them, and they gait. They kind of do a little racking gait, and they're just spotted all over.
Yeah, I just looked them up, and you're right. They look like Dalmatian horses.
Yeah, I've also seen them, though, where they're not spotted at all. But they are breeding stock, and they will throw spotted horses. So
sorry,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to post this picture on Facebook when I Googled tiger horse. Please Google tiger horse images, and there's a picture of a rearing horse with tiger stripes, with whiskers and the ears and everything. Oh God, that was funny. Sorry, I was trying to pay attention.
Yeah, I don't know if I named all 14 breeds. I tried really hard. Did I
You
get
got
the mountain
10.
horse
That's
there?
good. The mountain horse. There you go. Close enough. Close enough. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So tell us a little bit more
the
about
Mangaladora Marchador. I forgot that one. There's one people don't hear about very often.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking
Mangalarga Marchador horse. Look that one up. And the racking horse.
And the racking. Okay, there. I think you've got 14. I'm impressed. I am very impressed.
Okay. At least I got like 99%.
That's funny. So tell us a little bit about the Morgan horse racking. Is that a trained behavior or is it a natural behavior?
Oh, well, hopefully it's natural. You know, it does come natural in these horses. The Morgan breed, as you guys probably know, started with Justin Morgan. He's referred to by the name of his owner and so recorded in the registry, but his name was Figure, from 1789 to 1821. Justin Morgan and his sons were bred by Minnie, a pacing mare. Sherman's Dam, which was Justin's son, was believed by many historians to be a Narragansett pacer. Woodbury, another one of his sons, and the Dam of Black Hawk was also believed to be a Narragansett pacer.
Now,
and so that's where the gait comes through the Morgan breed.
Was Black Hawk involved with the foundation of the Tennessee Walking Horse? That sounds familiar.
Well, way back in there, yes.
Yeah,
actually,
I thought so. Okay.
the very first registered Tennessee Walking Horse, Allen F1, was out of a registered Morgan mare.
Okay, so the Gaited line, the Gaited lineage of Morgans really sprouted up other Gaited breeds in America.
Absolutely. I mean, it's behind Foxtrotters, and well, the Morgans are behind, most American breeds. But it's behind, there are Morgan horses behind some of the lines of many of the Gaited breeds in America. And all of the Gaited Morgans are registered to the American Morgan Horse Association. However, there is not an allowance for, saying on their registration papers whether they're gaited or not.
Okay.
And the reason being is because the registry is not qualified to confirm the gait in a horse. And so you can't put on the registration papers, oh, that horse was gaited, because who's going to confirm that? And so, the registry, that's not what they're there for. They're to register pedigree, and so they don't address the gaited Morgan issue.
Okay,
and so we have another organization that does, just an organization of breeders and admirers and owners of the Gaited Morgan horses called the Morgan Single-Footing Horse Association. And single-footing is a Western term for gaited. And gaited is like east of the Mississippi, and single-footers are west of the Mississippi.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that a different class, or is that just the way people call them? What people call them?
Single-footer is a cowboy term, and gaited is a Eastern term.
Okay, a little East Coast action.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't either. We're learning so much. I didn't even know there were Gaited Morgans. So when they're showing, when you go to a Morgan show, just like going to any breed show, they've got all the different classes, and it's like the end of the day they do the Gaited Morgan classes, or is it a whole different show altogether?
You will not find a Gaited Morgan showing at a Morgan horse show.
Really?
They do not have a class for Gaited Morgans, and the reason being is that the numbers are just not there. Let's say AMHA had a Class A Morgan show, and at the end of the day, they have a Gaited Morgan class. There probably wouldn't be any Gaited Morgans there because there are so few of them. This is a rare horse, less than a couple thousand. I personally know of 400 of them maybe.
Oh, wow.
And I'm sure there's more out there, but so when you spread them out all over the country, there aren't enough of them to actually have a class for them. But there's not a USEF judging standard in the Morgan judging standard. There's not a standard for gated Morgans. You can only show them at open gated breed shows or FOSH shows.
Okay. All right. So, is it
there's
something
plenty of
that
places to show them. You know, so there's plenty of places to show them if you want to show them.
Yeah, just the gated shows and stuff like that. Is it like is it bred? Like say there's a gated stud and then he breeds to a non-gated. Are you trying to get that trait from the line, or is it just kind of more random?
Well, you really want to breed gate to gate, you know, to concentrate that gate, and that's what most breeders today, you know, there's a handful of breeders, maybe 6 of us out there, breeding, line breeding and breeding gate to gate. You know, if you want to breed gate to non-gate, you do it the other way around. You breed a non-gated stallion to a gated mare because the mare is going to have the propensity for gate over the stallion generally. But really, and if you want to get gate to gate, you know, you breed gate to gate. In the Morgan breed, you can have a gated Morgan pop out anywhere in the entire Morgan family, and it happens all the time. People that are not breeding for gate and have been breeding this stallion or mare for years and showing or doing whatever they do, will all of a sudden get a gated one.
And that's
weird.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And, you know, then, you know, hopefully they call us or Morgan Single Footing Horse Association and we find an excited buyer for that gated Morgan. Because they can't use them because they're showing in walk trot classes, you know, so they need to send them to somebody that's using gated Morgan.
Well, that's kind of cool that you guys have made that extra effort to come together in a really good, organized fashion to preserve that breed characteristic. Otherwise, it would disappear. We actually had a Morgan that belonged to a student of mine that I don't think she was technically gated, maybe just because we trained her to walk, trot, and canter. But when she would get kind of full of herself and get naughty, she would do the gait thing. But what I'm curious about is I know almost nothing about non-walk, trot, canter gaits. So when you have a Morgan that's gated, I know there's more than one kind of flat-footed gait in that it's a non-suspension gait. There's lots of different kinds. So when you have a gated Morgan, do they all have the exact same extra gait, or does it vary a little bit, or is that really more determined by training than genetics?
Well, hopefully it's determined by genetics, and the strength of gait comes through the genetics. However, you know, there are those horses, and this isn't just in the Morgan breed. This isn't just gated Morgans, but in all gated breeds, you're going to find strengths and weaknesses in a gated horse. And, you know, they can perform a variation of the single foot, the rack, the running walk, the foxtrot, or the stepping pace. The rack is a faster version of the evenly timed running walk, while the foxtrot and the stepping pace are unevenly timed.
We could do an entire
many gated
show
Morgan
just on
owners
gait.
use descriptive terms such as ambling or broken pace to describe what their horses are doing. Some refer to a rack or a running walk as the old-fashioned single foot. Gated Morgans do one or more of these intermediate gaits in place of or in addition to the trot.
Oh, so it's either or. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have
you could
some
really
horses
have a
around the farm
five-gated
that are
Morgan.
five-gated. You know, they walk, trot, canter, but they
Talk about
do a running walk too.
I can't even manage to get a walk, trot, and canter right. I can't imagine having to figure out 5 gaits.
It's not that hard. You know, you learn what the horse will do for you, you know, and they have their little sweet spots, you know, in your hands, where you know, you get them between your legs and your hands, and those that are the walk, trot, canter horses, you know, they're going to have a little spot. Now, there's the others that, you know, they won't trot. You know, you just sit on them and they just do their gait. And, you know, ideally those are the best breeding stock because they gait to speed. You know, when they gait faster and faster and faster, and they will never break to a trot. They'll break to a canter. That is your strongest breeding stock right there.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a whole bunch of new information for us today. Where can
It
people
is.
learn?
We need to start a forum on
learn?
the radio show for gaited horses.
I know, geez. Where can people learn more about gaited Morgans, especially?
Well, they can go to the Morgan Single Footing Horse Association website, which is gatedmorgans.org for the organization. gatedmorgans.org. And there's 40-some-odd videos of gaited Morgans, and there's information on gait on there. They can see
Go ahead.
the Fosh judging rules is on the Fosh website, which is fosh.info, fosh.info. And then you'll see there's a dressage for gaited horses. Yes, there is. And the dressage manual's on there, as well as the judging rules for the 14 gaited breeds.
All right, terrific. Well, Valley, we appreciate you being on with us today. That's gatedmorgans.org if you want to check it out. I did look up the for sale on equine.com, and I came up with one gaited Morgan for sale. So you're right. There aren't a whole lot of them out there, but I'm sure that they can get more information there. And if they're interested in more information, you can contact them at gatedmorgans.org. Thank you, Valley. We appreciate you being on.
Thank you for the time. See ya.
All right. See ya. Thanks a lot. Well, we hope you found that interesting. I certainly didn't know a lot about some of the things that she talked about there, so I thought that you might find that interesting as well and be able to learn a little bit too. Well, don't forget that you can listen to the Horses in the Morning show every morning at horsesinthemorning.com, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.
The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.